talk, dude.
Yeah, dad life.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Dad Life, dude. It's my fave. Um, all right, same thing as last time. We'll count down 3, 2, 1, go live. We're already going live right now. We'll count down 3, 2, 1, and then start the conversation. And then at the end, we'll say thanks so much. Have a good night, but don't hang up. We'll chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have lots to talk about. You guys have been busy on you guys' end.
Yes.
All right, we are definitely live. We got people in the chat already. What's up, Tim? What's up, Reverse? Okay, I'm gonna start it right now.
You gotta update the title.
I did. Is it not updated? Yeah, it's updated. You're looking at the wrong video.
No, I'm on the feed.
I'm on the feed too on my other computer, and it's episode 210 Express.
You're missing a word.
Express Overland.
Okay.
Which Express Rally? Express Overland? Which one, guys?
Express Rally Overland.
Yeah, see, I didn't want to put you on the spot like that, but
why not?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not your boss anymore.
I did it even when you were my boss.
I think we've talked about this before, where Jose will just walk by my desk and walk by my office and flip me off at work. That's the kind of respect I get at my office.
Yeah, sounds like a real positive work environment.
It is. It is. Hey, fucker, did you get that thing for me I asked for?
If you saw Scott and I's text thread, it would be the exact same thing. So,
oh yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. When I communicate with Jose on text, I have to use my personal phone to his personal phone because my work phone to his work phone is HR violation all over the place. I have to avoid that altogether. All right. Oh, notepad. Hold on. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody, it is 6:36. We're a little bit late on Tuesday night, and I'm going to blame that on Matt and Casey because they are slackers and they're not here tonight. It's Jose and I in the studio, and we've got Aaron and Scott from Express Rally Overland on the big screen and on the YouTube feed. How are you guys doing tonight?
Awesome. Thank you for having us again.
No, anytime.
Yeah.
You guys are welcome anytime. We had for those of you that don't recall, I if I was a better host, I would have looked it up to see what episode it was that we talked to you guys the last time. It was how long ago was it? It was at least 6 months ago, right?
That was longer than that.
Yeah, it's been a while. I know it was before we
Yeah, it's been a while.
I think it was before we kind of hit our stride with the events out west, which we meant to connect with you guys on, and I think you were busy and we were busy, and they sold out fast, so we weren't able to put it together. But luckily, we'll just do more, which we'll talk about tonight. But yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Yeah, I think the last time we spoke, you guys were going to the Ozarks,
and then and then they was like 6 months from that episode, they were going to do the first New Mexico trip.
That's right.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, the Ozarks is kind of our backyard. Ozarks, Mark Twain National Forest. We're Northwest Arkansas, so we're like smack dab in the middle of the country, which the Ozarks is kind of an undiscovered gem, which is it's becoming more prevalent for overland and off-roading. So
yeah,
it's definitely there. But a big part of our brand was kind of getting out of our backyard and giving people the opportunity to, have some of those bucket list experiences in the more traditional places out west, Colorado and New Mexico and some of that. So it was a natural progression, and we had a really great year, had some excellent events. And this year we get to kind of build on that with some more stuff out there. So it's it's been a really good experience. But yeah, a lot has happened since we talked to you guys last.
Yeah. And so for those of you that please go back and listen to the episode when they were on last time. It was episode number Jose. I pointed to Jose. I thought for sure he was going to have it.
I was going to, and then I stopped.
But anyways, so the Express Rally guys, you guys kind of started this adventure as super sport, high speed, race car type events, and then as that grew in popularity, you started expanding, and then you moved into the Overland stuff where you do full service, soup to nuts. Totally catered by Outback and some shit. Like we still Matt still,
we still talk
to
about
this
it, dude.
day. Every time we get in a truck to go someplace, he's like, "Is Outback going to be there?" No, fucker. Outback isn't going to be there.
And that was episode 124.
124. So you guys started doing all that, and then it just seems like the momentum that you guys had with the supercar stuff translated into the Overland stuff, and you guys have just been on an upward trajectory since then. I mean, talk to me about kind of bring us up to speed from there. So 80 something weeks ago, what's taken place and how's the expansion look like since then?
Yeah, so I'll harken a little bit back to what you said, but Express Rally was founded in 2015, and it was basically for exotic and high-end sports cars. So we do your traditional road rallies, private track days. We do those all over the country. West Coast, Pacific Northwest, Southern states, Midwest, adding the East Coast to that lineup next year. So that's kind of our bread and butter. That's really what we're known for, I'll say more on a national level, is road rallies. And we have a pretty good following for that. Those events, they if you're in that world, you've probably heard of us before. But the Overland and off-road stuff started in 2018. And then really the last 2 years, we've focused completely on Overland events. And that's really where Aaron and I are partners on that side of the business. And he's really just kind of taken it to the next level, honestly. The road rallies keep me plenty busy, and I'm involved in the Overland stuff, but a lot of it is a product of Aaron's brain and putting together killer routes and kind of tailoring the experience I know to what he wants and what I want, and making sure that we deliver that consistently, no matter if it's in the Ozarks or if it's in Colorado. And so with that being said, last year was a huge year of growth. I think we kind of got out of our backyard. We did New Mexico, Aaron's idea. We did Colorado. And then, we are adding to that. We have 2 events next month. One is in Death Valley and the other is in Moab.
Nice.
And then we have another one in the Ozarks in May. And then following that, we have New Mexico and Colorado again in late August and September. And then in the fall, we're going to go into a new area in Tennessee. But really our roots are on road rallies, but what we found is the Overland market, I think, is really wanting events like this. And because Aaron really guides and does all of that, I will stop talking and kind of let him speak more to like what the Overland experience is, and really the type of people that we want on those events and the type of people that we typically see sign up for them. And also like an understanding for what your money's getting you. It is expensive. We don't dispute that, but it's by design. We want to provide the absolute best experience possible, and because Aaron does all the planning and really factors that stuff in, I'm going to let him speak to what exactly that is.
Well, and I want to touch on that a little bit. Like
you're getting a premium experience.
I was going to say we talked about that kind of in depth the last time, and you were like, "Look, we're not serving PB&Js and a juice box at the end of this thing. It's like from the time you register to the time you get home, even after that with all the videos and all that stuff. Like it's you're getting an experience. You're not just getting a trip. So sorry, Aaron, I don't mean to steal your thunder, but I just wanted to kind of touch on that.
No, you're spot on. Man, I mean, Scott kind of covered most of it, but the thing is that I think it's so hard to quantify until you're actually there is the value of what you're getting, right? Like you're used to going out with your buddies, sure. And if you like planning stuff, then maybe you might coordinate a meal or two. But think about the value in being able to show up to a destination, go have a killer time and not have to worry about a damn thing that you're going to do. You don't have to worry about where you're going to be. You don't have to worry about whether or not the route that you're on is kosher or not with the forestry service, or you're going to get in trouble if a Forest Service person shows up, or you don't have to worry about finding a campsite. You don't have to worry about the food that you're going to take. You don't have to worry about all the necessities of, what are the logistics of packing eggs, or what are the logistics of packing dinner, all of those things. And then you have this amazing media team that's there to capture all the cool shit that you're going to do that entire time. You don't have to worry about, oh God, hang on just a second, I gotta go get out and I gotta get my phone and I gotta get around the car.
Yeah, we get to the end of the trail and go, dude, that was awesome. Did anybody get a picture of that?
No.
Well, no. Yeah. So I mean, like, you think about those pieces, and then you also think about the amount of people, like, guys, the amount of people that I've had come out that have never done anything like this before has been mind-blowing. And that's been the coolest part, is because we've got so many people that will come up, they'll hear about these events either from a podcast or from like an expo or something like that, or they'll just see our media floating around on social media, and they'll go check it out and they'll sign up out of just like, well, we'll just go see what the hype's about. And they show up and they experience this thing for the first time, and you come across their first obstacle, and they look absolutely petrified. Like, oh dear God, I don't want to be that one guy that Aaron talked about at the driver's meeting, right? And it's so cool because there's just this natural tendency as a group of individuals that like doing the same type of stuff, that people are automatically going to step up. Even though we've got designated people, there's always people that are going to step up. And they may have just gone through the obstacle and they just stop and get out of their car and they're like, I got you, man. We're going to walk you through the line and this is what you're going to follow. Never had an incident to date for any of our events. It's just been such a phenomenal time. And when you get back to the campfire and food's already cooking and everybody's just talking about like what the highlights of their day were, like, that's the most, I think, profound thing for me of doing these events, is hearing the excitement and the tone of people's voices as they're just reminiscing on their day. And they get to do that for months to come with these videos that come out, with the photos that come out. They get to relive that every single time. So it's just a really, really cool time.
Yeah, and we've talked about it a bunch of times. The campfire is every bit a component of the trip that any wheeling or destination is. Like, if you, I've been on trips where you've spent 2 hours on the trail and spent the next 12 hours talking about how stupid that was that you just did for, you know what I mean? It's like that time around the campfire, that being able to hang out with friends and family, that camaraderie, that's just as much part of any trip as the trail is itself. So with the expansion, I'm on the site right now. So you guys, expressrally.com, EXPRESSRALLY. There is the Overland Death Valley, the Overland Moab, and the Overland number 6 Ozark. Those are the three, it looks like they have on the Overland side, that are coming up. So which one is coming up first?
Death Valley is first, followed a few days later by the event in Moab. And one thing, I'll go ahead and say it now. We'll say it at the end as well. I posted it on the comments, but if you're listening to the podcast now, I don't recall how many open spots we have in each, but it's not very many. I want to say it's 2 or 3 spots, slightly more in Death Valley, but still not a large number. If you're listening to the podcast tonight, for the remainder of the week, we are going to offer listeners $300 off of the event, which is 30%. We don't do that. The stuff sells out. We don't ever do sales.
You don't need to.
There's no need to. Yeah.
But it's something cool to do for people that are listening now. And I know we have some past participants that are listening and some people that have done our events before. So that'll be good till the end of the week. So if you want to jump in last minute, it's still a month away. You've got some time to plan, beg the wife, get time off of work, whatever.
What if they need to beg the husband?
Yeah, that's true. Also, yeah. but got time to make it happen, and that's kind of our way of thanking you guys for having us on, but then also for people to tune in and kind of hear us share what we're doing and about the experience. So we'll remind everyone of that at the end, and we'll get that out there. And the code is Trail Chasers, and you can just use that whenever you register to check out.
That's awesome.
And then
There you go.
they'll be open until they're full, and then they'll close.
That is awesome.
But
thank you guys.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
Yeah, we have those events are open right now. I think Aaron and I are deciding when we're going to open registration for New Mexico and Colorado. It will likely be in late February, following the Death Valley and Moab events.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will have another event that's going to open for the fall, and that's the one that's taking place in Tennessee. And then we'll save the big announcement for later, where we'll share some teasers of an event that we have in the works. That's really exciting and kind of outside of the wheelhouse of what we've done so far. But
cool.
That's what we got coming up.
Cool. Yeah, and we had some background conversation about participating in these. So we're going to be gone for King of Hammers, so King of the Hammers will be at that, and then that February 14th date coincides with an event for me, something that I've got going on that I probably shouldn't ask for time off on my first day of the job. So we'll talk about more of that later. So so Aaron, how do you? I mean, you guys are in the Ozarks. You've explored all that stuff. I know that you, from Bass Conversations, that's kind of where your home base is. How are you looking out on the map and going, that's the next place? That's the next place. Is it feedback from people, or is it, in all honesty, is it you going, I've always wanted to go there, damn it, we're planning a trip?
That's a great question. It's actually a mixture of both. Scott and I have gotten a ton of requests to go out west, like further and further west. We've got a group of people that are requesting events up in Pacific Northwest now. And so it's really just trying to be able to find the time that I can actually get off my day job to try to figure out, like, is it realistic for me to go out here and check out some of these pieces before we start building routes? And then some of it is just working with some of our previous clients and saying, like, if you had to pick a 3-day adventure that you would want to share with your closest friends, like the most epic of places to go, what would it be? And I take a lot of that feedback, and then I start plotting it on the maps, and then I start looking at, like, can I make that realistically happen with a group of 10 to 20 people, or 10 to 20 vehicles? And sometimes it's a resounding absolutely not. That would not work. And then sometimes it's like, let's push it and see what we can do. Like Death Valley, I'm absolutely out of my mind stoked about for the route that we're going to be doing, because like most people, they think about going out west and they hit in Canyonlands and stuff like that, like it's all Moab. But Death Valley is absolutely breathtaking. It's just so beautiful. And it is a national park, and so like there's a little bit more bureaucratic differences with getting permits for stuff like this. But it's going to be a blast. Like, we're going to start in Alabama Hills, then we're going to head up to the racetrack and take a right-hand turn at Kettle Junction and go around Hunter Mountain, and then out to Canyon Park, or Echo Canyon. And then we're going to end up in Titus Canyon to end up our day. So we're going to be covering a lot of ground, but I mean, some of the most epic, breathtaking views that are out there.
Yeah, I've been petitioning to go make a trip out there for the longest time, because I've never been out there, and that's definitely those trails you just mentioned I want to hit.
Feel free to plan this shit.
Yeah, dude.
All right, you heard it here, guys. Spring expedition sounds like, or summer,
bro.
No,
really?
we can't do summer expedition.
No. We specifically planned this to be one of the most opportune times to go, because of people's schedules and vacation. Summertime, it's popular, but also February is a pretty nice time to be out there as far as weather. It may be a little cool, but it's not as bad as you think. So from people that have been there and have given us feedback, I think it's going to be awesome. think it's
Well, you don't
really-
have to worry about people's radiators overheating too. So.
Yeah, yeah. We usually do Mojave on Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, but
and
it's
been the last 2 years have been so damn hot that we're now gonna move that, I think, into April or something.
Last year kind of sealed the deal. And
Yeah,
it was the last nail in the coffin because I think it got up to like 115.
yeah, it was balls hot. So Death Valley definitely not on summer expedition. That's a winter or spring thing.
Yeah.
So the logistically for the Death Valley trip, so it's a 3-day trip, and is it okay? Participants, you've registered. Here's the coordinates. Be here at this time on Thursday. Is that kind of how you work it?
Yeah, so I like to kind of leave as much to like the surprise as possible, but I also realize that like there are a lot of people that really want to know the ins and outs of like how this is going to work logistically for them. Some people that are terrified of like what's going to happen to their vehicle. And so when I send out an email, like I just sent out an email yesterday, so just about a month out, that has like all the ins and outs of what they need to know on GPS coordinates of like where we're going to start out the event, the nearest gas station to that, so they're topped off their tanks prior to, the logistics of like,
come on, Aaron and I.
What do they need to pack?
Aaron and I need to hang out, dude, because I do.
We do the same. I mean,
we don't do shit.
Yeah.
You got a mouse in your pocket, Jose? We don't do a goddamn thing. I do it. I do the same thing. I'm like, okay, we're gonna meet here. You stop at this gas station, exactly 45 miles away. At this gas station is where your next fill up is gonna be, and then at this point, and I will lay that shit out. Not so much for everybody else, but for my own anxiety. And what happens is I feel like if I have it all planned out, I feel like everything's good. And then if it goes to shit, at least I made a plan. And at least at some point I can try to get back on plan. But on the trips we're like, F it, let's just go out and see what happens. I'm freaked out the whole time.
Yeah, dude, I've offered like, dude, let me help you, and you're like, okay, I'll let you know, and then you come back with this giant spreadsheet and like itinerary. I'm like, bro, let me help you. He's like, I already did it.
Jose's absolutely right. He has offered. I need to start relinquishing more of that to you. But I like the element of surprise. I think for those of you listening that are joining us on Winter Expedition, we're going to be in Johnson Valley. Try to find a surprise.
Just look for our camp.
I'll have a big orange flag. You can't miss it.
Well, what people don't know is sometimes the surprise or the delay in getting coordinates and information out, we have zero control over. So a great example of that is we have had events before where you go through this long process of getting permits for everything from the campsites you're going to be on to the trails you're going to be on to media being able to be in certain locations, flying a drone, all that. And still, the Forest Service or the BLN can literally come to you 3 days before your event and say, you know what, we got a couple of inches of rain. You can't be on that route or on that. And so we're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, or hey, we had something else come up unexpectedly. We need you guys to postpone your event.
Well, I'm going to speak for Aaron because I feel like we're kindred spirits here. That's okay because he's got Route A, Route B, Route C already planned out. And he's already got a contingency plan for his contingency plan. Ain't nothing stopping this trip. Am I right, Aaron?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing. It depends on the location that you're at. So, like Colorado, we ran into this. We got out there a couple days prior to the start of the event, coming out of New Mexico. And the first day we had planned on leaving Silverjack Lake Reservoir and heading northeast up to a highway to come to Engineer Pass via Lake City. And that highway was temporarily shut down for road construction, and they only opened the highway 3 times per day. And they were only during certain segments of the day. So like super, super early morning for people going to work, middle of the day around lunchtime, and then right around people getting off work. And I mean, I'd been working with the Forestry Service for months around this route. And I got out there to go test drive a section of the trail that I hadn't got an opportunity to do yet because I had rerouted something. And I got out there and I got stuck in traffic for probably about 35 minutes before I decided I was going to go pull a Yui. And a state trooper like pulls up right next to me and cuts me off, thinks that I'm like going to try to beeline it and go around everyone. And I was like, hey, man, I'm from out of town. I'm just about to pull a Yui like right here in this little cul-de-sac. But can you tell me like, what the hell's going on? Like, is this a wreck? What's going on? And he was like, oh, no, this is construction. This is going on now until like for eternity. And
so did someone from California went out there and planned that for you? I see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Or Arkansas. Either way, it doesn't matter. But they told me like the windows that they were open. And so after that, I had to call our contact at the Forestry Service and say, yo, I don't know if you're aware, I know you live here in Colorado, but this is throwing a huge damper in our day and there's no way in hell I can do this. And we were going into Labor Day weekend. And so she had, like, I contacted her. She had to contact 2 other field offices to confirm that it was okay for us to change the dates in which route we were going to be taking each day.
Oh, wow.
And I had to get all that approved within 24 hours of the kickoff of the event. And you want to talk about stressful, like being in Colorado out there, like they don't play because you're dealing with not only the Forestry Service, but the BLM.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're technically somewhere where you're not supposed to be and something, catastrophic happens, like somebody rolls off of Black Bear Mountain or Black Bear Pass, then you're kind of fucked and they're probably not going to issue another permit for you.
Yep. Yeah. The our go-to for that is, permit? We didn't... Oh,
what are those?
Yeah, we'll make sure next time.
Yeah, you and most other people. So one of the interesting
we got literally on the Mojave trip. We were out camping, and a ranger pulled up, started talking to us about permits, and we were like, "Dude, I legitimately didn't know." And every year since we've been pulling the permits for that.
And just a side note, it's such a pain in the ass to get these permits, dude. It's like tons of emails back and forth of can you please change your application to say this?
Yeah, and the verbiage isn't correct. Yeah, it's no joke. I mean, we want to play by the rules, but it is anytime you have more than 4 people.
Yeah, it's 5 or more, I think.
Start looking into
permits,
especially if you're on BLM land, federal land. Go on the websites, look it up.
Yeah,
because there's probably at the very least something to file, or you have to get. I don't know if it's everywhere, but in California we have those adventure passes that you pay your $5 to get you the
for the parking,
the tag. So
they're super. You have to be super specific, man. They want like GPS coordinates on where you're gonna camp, the route you're taking to get there. Are there any generators? I mean, it was like any gas powered generators. Like, dude, they want to know what equipment you're gonna be taking.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us take our external combustion engine that Jose wanted to bring with him.
Well, we've had. I'll tell you, like, we can laugh about it because we know when we've dealt with it, but. 2 things. One, there are people that will post on Instagram, "Hey, I'm going out here. This trip is going to cost $200." And they'll have people go with them. And, that's frustrating for us because if you are a potential customer and you see people doing these guided trips for $300 or $400, and then you see our event cost 3 times that much, well, we look like we're ripping people off. And I'm like, no, I can promise you, we know what the insurance costs.
Yeah.
And I know what the permits cost. And I know that if you're doing it for less than X amount in this location, you're doing it illegally.
Yeah, 100%.
And so and we don't name names, we don't say anything, but there are plenty of people out there that are doing it, and it's incredibly frustrating because we're trying to be above reproach in what we do. That's making our events more expensive. Beyond that, there is a significant amount of time that Aaron spends on that process. That is worth something.
Oh yeah,
and so
anybody
we build that in.
Anybody could anybody could jump on the road and turn off on the first turnout and hit dirt and go follow me. That's the easy part, right? It's the what happens when shit hits the fan, or you don't know that you're not supposed to be there, and you don't have insurance, and you don't have the permit. I mean, that's why we started the registration fees for some of our expeditions at the Mojave, because it was okay. Well, it's going to cost us this much in permits. We're going to have to go do 2 pre-run trips. It's going to be, it is what it is, right? So those things, I think. I want to say that there are people that get it. There are the people that understand that what you guys are offering has value, right? And then there are those that don't, and or it's not of value to them, and they're probably not your demographic, right? I mean, there's a business quote that's like, if you're trying to be everything to everybody, you're going to be nothing to no one, kind of thing. Like, you can't fit everybody's budget. You can't fit everybody's needs. So you do what's the best for you guys. And if it works for people, they'll find you. Right. I mean, I think that's how you guys have, and let's be completely upfront about it. Clearly it's working. I mean, you guys are putting on these events and selling these things out. There's a market there. Obviously what you're doing has value because people are coming back 2, 3, 4, and 5 times to your same events. I mean, I don't think, I think that's the results are speaking for themselves as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. And we try to be really, really straightforward about it. I know that there are plenty of people who think it is completely preposterous to pay us $1,000 to plan their trip to Colorado and for them to come with us. And that's okay. That's fine. Our demographic, I think, is more targeted at people that this is relatively new and you want to get into it in a really positive and constructive environment, or it's for someone who maybe you do go out a couple times a month with your family or with your friends and you do this and you plan it all and you cook all the food and you enjoy that. But occasionally, I think it's nice for people to just be able to sit back and enjoy where you are and what you're doing and the people that you're with, and to not have to worry about the route or the food. And I think that it's not either or. I think you can have a balance to that. Mm-hmm. And what we find most of the time is, a lot of our participants, they come on our event and they're spending a ton of time out on trails in the woods and not doing anything associated with express route.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. But they come back because we keep going to places they find intriguing, and because they know there is a consistent quality experience they're going to have on our event, whether it's in the Ozarks or Death Valley or Moab or Colorado. And Aaron and I work really hard to provide that. And, we've taken plenty of backlash from people that are like, it's insane. Who would ever pay that? It's like, well, then you're not the person that we're after.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And it's okay that not everyone gets it. We don't need everyone to get it. We need about 15 to 20 vehicles to get it for every event. And, some fill up faster than others, but for the most part, I think that we're doing a good job developing a reputation for doing quality events. And I know that we've reached people through your show that have signed up and come and done events. Yeah. I think that everyone has had a good time. So it makes me feel like Aaron's doing a great job leading the events, and we're still putting something out there that is intriguing and that people want. And we want to keep building on that, knowing that it's not for everyone, but it is for a lot of people.
Yeah. For anybody that's never planned, organized, managed a large event like this,
come to one of our trips.
Yeah, and
then go to one of their trips.
I was just gonna say because ours is a shit show, right? Ours is a complete catastrophe. And then you want something good.
Yeah, you go to their things.
But we talked about this before. We did Mojave this last year, and we pushed it, and we had 30 vehicles, and it was. And I don't want to take away from the amount of fun I had on the trip, but I was 100% exhausted By the time we got it all planned and ready to go, and all the swag ordered and all the bags packed and delivered, and then trying to wrangle that many people, we talked about how Jose, Matt, Casey, and I didn't even see each other all weekend because we were spread so thin doing other stuff. There's a lot to that. So if you've never planned an event like this, and we're not even anywhere near the level that these guys are. I mean, I don't even know anybody at Outback. So if you haven't planned something like this, I could see someone going, yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm not spending money for that, right? And then go try to plan it, and you're like, holy shit, that's a lot of work. And then go experience what you guys offer and go, okay, cool. Yeah. Cool. I will. You know what, here's what I'm going to equate it to. I'm an ex-air conditioning guy. I can work on air conditioning. If my air conditioner breaks in my house, I'm not fucking doing it. I'm going to pay a fucking guy because I know how hard it is, and I know how much my time is worth. And you know what? I'm not doing it because it is better served having somebody else do it so I can sit back and have cold air. That's what it comes down to, is if you're a guy with a skill set that maybe you can do that, but you're at a point in your life where you're like, I'm not going to do that, this is perfect.
Yeah, I won't get too far off into the weeds, but I had a really interesting interaction with someone on one of the Land Cruiser pages on Facebook, and it was a positive interaction. Like there were no Facebook fight or anything, but someone presented a bill for a repair, and the guy made the comment. He's like, "That's why you learn to do it on your own rig, so you don't have to pay for stuff like that." And I chimed in, and I'm like, "Well, there are a lot of people that really like working on their vehicle. They just enjoy that piece of vehicle ownership. There are other people, I think, that time is a more valuable resource than money. Yep. So what ends up happening is that individual will pay a shop, and if they pay them $900 or $3,000, whatever it is for whatever the repair is, there is someone out there that say that's stupid and you shouldn't pay that. You should fix it yourself. And what I challenged was, I think you reach a point in life where, the time is just more important. And whether that $900 represents a couple hours that you got to spend with your family or your kids, or it represents time that you got to spend actually on the trail, driving, enjoying your vehicle versus you having to fix it.
Yep.
It's very subjective. And that varies depending on the person. And I think that, it's funny because on the road rally side of things, dealing with exotic and high-end cars, we've got wonderful people that do our events, and I don't think that they necessarily look down on someone because they drive a car that costs less money. But what I have experienced in the Overland community has been, it's kind of the opposite. You have people that look down on someone because they purchased something for an amount that person feels is too much or is ridiculous when they could have built it themselves.
You could have bought an XJ and done that yourself for $5,000.
I don't want to build it. I want to drive it.
Yeah.
And I get to support another business. I get to support another individual. And that doesn't make me any less of an enthusiast than the other person who builds it themselves. And it's just funny because the dichotomy is different with sports cars versus off-road. It's like, you didn't build it yourself.
Yeah.
You spent $3,000 on that. It's like, you know what? Like, I don't want to be an asshole, but to some people, $3,000 is what $30 is to you. Some people just don't care.
Yeah.
It's just a way to get what they want.
Well, and you touched on the fact that it's subjective. So you may have the guy that has more than enough money to pay somebody to do it, but he really loves tinkering. To him, it's not worth it, right? Then you have the guy that has no money and is like, F it, I don't want to do it. I'll find a way to pay for it, right? It's 100% subjective. For us, I find that there are things that we want to do to our vehicles. There's like, I need to put some lights on my truck. I got a handful of things that I need to try to get done before our event at King of the Hammers. But if I had a broken rear axle, I don't want to fix that. I don't want to fix that. I don't want to crawl on it. I don't want to deal with it. Somebody else will take care of it for me, right? I mean, if it's I think I have more fun working on other people's vehicles because if I fuck it up, I don't have to drive it. Hence Jose's boss, her car stand was in my driveway for 3 days. But you know what I mean? So I think so much of that is subjective as to what, I mean, I have a family member that will literally spend all his time and money building model airplanes, and they're gorgeous. And when I say build, I'm not talking about buying a kit. I'm talking about he goes to buy balsa wood, shapes the wings, wraps the paper around it, does the cellophane, builds the motor. It's his ultimate hobby, right? Whereas I'd be like, dude, look, $500. I'll buy a remote control airplane off of Amazon and let's go have some fun, right? I have no desire to build any of that shit, but to him, the build part is every bit as much of the adventure, of the hobby. And I think it just, everybody has a different perspective.
Yeah, and that's what's cool. It's like I'm a big Land Cruiser person, and when you get to 80 series, 50 series, it's okay. Don't be.
Real quick, before how many spare alternators and Burfield joints and steering pumps do you have in your garage?
In my personal garage,
yeah.
0.
Oh, see, Jose, you're doing it wrong, bro. Jose's got like 6 of each of those things.
I have a replacement for all of those.
I know.
But I enjoy seeing the stuff that people have come up with and engineered and built on their own. I do. I think it's cool. But I also think that, like you said, there's a healthy respect for all of it. And, you got to be careful either way. And, people value their time differently. And some of those guys are building that stuff with their kids or with their wife or with their parents, and they really enjoy that process. Mm-hmm. Well, one of my favorite things in our events is just seeing the different types of vehicles. So we have rigs that are, they were kind of built on a budget. They're functional, they work, and people are out there using them all the time. That is cool. I enjoy seeing that. And then we have people taking G-Wagons out there and 200 series Land Cruisers out there. And you know what? At the end of the day, they're all having a great time, and they're all coming together and sharing a meal and talking about the fun stuff they did around a campfire at the end of the night. And that's what I envision it being like. It's not Jeep or Toyota or, whatever. It's just people that really enjoy disconnecting and being out there. And, the push I feel like right now has been, you've got a lot of these YouTubers who have made, their full-time job is traveling and making YouTube videos. And if that's what you wanted to do and you're able to do that, then that's awesome. I think that's cool. That's not personally what I want out of the experience. I have a stressful job, and what I want to be able to do is occasionally throughout the year completely disconnect from what gives me stress. And that's what this hobby allows me to do. I don't want to do it full time, but I do want to embrace it and kind of use it to be able to provide me some stress relief and connect with other people in a meaningful way. And I think that just like people build their vehicles different ways, there are different approaches to this hobby, but at the end of the day, we all just love being outdoors and driving our vehicles. And that's kind of the beauty of it. You can all come from different places and still celebrate what you share in common.
Yeah. I love that part. Like the, because our group is pretty eclectic. We've got, other than the plethora of Nissan Frontiers now, everything from a Power Wagon to a shitbox, right? And to your point, being able to see, and the shitbox is the Frontier. I mean, I don't. As long as we're no,
I didn't say it was the Land Cruiser.
Yeah, that's what I should have said. It was the Land Cruiser. But being able to see all of the different types of vehicles go down the same trail, hitting it differently with different lines, and what made someone decide to buy that vehicle versus this vehicle, and it's not right or it's wrong. It was the fit for them. It was the right value at the time. It was the we have someone in our group now that had the opportunity to buy a 2-year-old ZR2 Bison.
Oh yeah, dude,
for $12,000. $13,000. A 2-year-old ZR2 Bison that had never been off-road because his mother-in-law just didn't like driving it anymore.
I told him I'd give him 15 right now.
Yes. Like, okay, 100% that was the right decision.
Yes.
Like, I'm not a fan of the Colorado, and I wouldn't go out and buy one off the lot. But if I get presented to buy that truck for $13,000, you better bet I'm buying that shit. Like, so
Yeah.
that's that story behind how he ended up with this. And now that's his daily driver and his wheeler. And you're like, okay, cool. Let's see what it does. I think those stories behind that are awesome. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what makes the community as diverse as it is, because everybody's coming at it from a different angle, a different pocketbook, a different life experience, and a different goal. And the fact that you guys embrace that is very in line with kind of the way we approach things, and I dig it. So the After Death Valley, Moab, and it looks like those things are stacked back to back, right? So are you guys going to Death Valley and going straight to Moab afterwards?
Yeah, so we're heading out from Death Valley. The end of Death Valley ends on Monday, and then we'll be driving through Vegas up to Utah, and then we'll hit Moab, and that event will start on Thursday.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah,
nice.
So we'll have those back to back, and then like Scott said, we'll be in the Ozarks back in May, kind of our own stomping grounds, just to do one for the year. And then we'll be back to New Mexico and Colorado, which I'm stoked about. New Mexico is just it's one of those states that so many people don't give it the credit that it's due. And it's one of those really just beautiful places that you're just like, I had no idea this was here. Oh my God. And that's the really cool one about that event specifically. And then we'll head back up to Colorado. It's kind of the same thing. Like 3 days after that, we'll be up in Colorado rocking out one of those Overland events there.
That's awesome. I love the fact that you guys are you're really taking the time to think about the destination and how that destination translates into an experience, and how that experience translates into customer satisfaction. And you know what I mean? It sounds like you guys, there's a lot of deep thought going into this, and it's not throwing a dart at a map and going, let's go there next week.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because like each event is so different. You know, like the Ozarks is usually one of those places that, like, to hit the sweet spots, you are driving so much through the Ozarks to hit all of those really cool destinations there. And so it's really like balls to the wall all weekend. And
is that more though? Do you have to pay more for that?
Is
service?
that extra?
Is that an extra service
No.
that's
No.
above and beyond?
That
It's like, is that an
that just
add-on?
means more stress
I would
for
like
me.
the Ozark trip with the balls to the walls and
With the balls to the wall. No. And to your point earlier, like that absolutely plays into one of those factors of like having secondary, tertiary, and a fourth route that's going to be scheduled out, because that's usually an event where we have people that will like cake their radiators with Ozark clay, some crap like that, where I've got multiple vehicles overheating, and so I'm having to readjust the route like in the middle of day two.
Are those all Jeeps? Let's be honest. Those are all Jeeps, right?
Yeah.
And Ford Rangers.
No.
And Rangers. Actually, I had a very successful Ford Ranger back in May. We hit a water crossing that I honestly wasn't sure whether or not it was going to be okay with the water levels that we're at.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to double check where its intakes were just to be on the safe side. But it was all good. It made it through successfully and had a great time.
Of course it did.
But like getting back to the difference in the events, that's the really interesting thing. It's, you know, like Ozarks is really fast paced. Colorado, you're covering a crap ton of ground based on where we were camping, you know, because we decided to do base camping there. We did base camping in New Mexico, and so we're not like hopping from location to location for camp each night. It made it so much easier for setting up for food and stuff. But New Mexico is one of those places too where like the terrain may not be crazy difficult like you would experience in maybe Moab and some other destinations, or even Mark Twain. But the views are just slap your mama good. And so it takes away from the like, what did I miss in not having difficult terrain, to like, oh my God, there's this amazing lake that no one else is going to get to today because I have this epic vehicle that can get there. You know what I mean? And other people don't. So it's cool because we get to go in and we get to see these awesome views. Depending on the town, like Red River, New Mexico is this beautiful, quiet little ski town that people usually only visit during the winter. And so we get to like partner with restaurants there. And like we did lunch 2 days back to back, and we just reserved out like their outside patio area.
Oh, wow.
And made for a really cool experience, because that's not something we normally do. You know, normally we're going so fast on these trips that we're eating on the trail for lunch. And this type of event, we got to do it a little bit different. And there was tons of great feedback about how well received that was for so many people, because otherwise they wouldn't have had time to actually visit the town, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we've talked about this before. Like, sometimes the hard obstacles and the pushing your vehicle and pushing your skill sets is fun. Other times, just a dirt road, hanging out, having a good time. Like, it doesn't always have to be going back to what Scott was touching base on about built it versus bought it. It doesn't have to be rock crawler versus trail runner. It can all be the same. It could be the same trip. It could be the same day. It could be the same vehicle. You know, there's so much to see out there and so many things to experience differently that you know, my suggestion to everybody is take the time to do that. You know, if you've only gone rock crawling for the last 10 years, go sit in a buddy's rig and do a trail run and just check out some scenic views, right? That's if you have never gone rock crawling, try to catch a ride in a buggy someplace, because that's super fun. You know what I mean? There's so much to do, and there's not many of us that can do all of it all the time, right? There's certain rigs that can, certain people that can afford multiple rigs. For the bulk of us, though, we're building a rig for what we think we want to do on a regular basis. And the other that stuff is we experience through you guys, through YouTube, through our friends, through King of the Hammers, and there's so many different aspects to what we do as our hobby. Just go out and enjoy it all.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
I was gonna say on that note, like, I wanted to ask you guys about the Express Rally fleet. Like, how many trucks do you guys have now? I mean, on your Instagram, it's like, I see.
I was trying to look it up. Yeah.
I see there's a Porsche Cayenne, an FJ40, a 200 series, and then your recently one HDT swapped 80 series.
Yeah, Scott, you want to talk about that real quick?
That's you're talking about just my Instagram.
Yeah, that's your Instagram. I'm not necessarily on.
I'm with you, Aaron. I'm with you.
Like, yeah.
But I really wanted to talk about the Porsche Cayenne, because that's like one of those things that 2 or 3 years ago, there's a company that built like a safari version of it, and now exactly. And now those are the ones that are I don't think they've been discovered yet, but I say within the next year they're going to be the next thing.
Yeah, a lot of people are building them through the road rallies. I mean, I own a Porsche 911. That's kind of my road rally car. Mm-hmm. I've had other Porsches over the years, but yeah, I have a 997.2 Porsche 911 with the BBI Street Cup build. That's that.
I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah. I know, right?
BBI is a motorsports shop down here.
What I'm hearing is it's probably pretty fast.
Yes.
Okay.
It probably handles better than it is faster.
Okay. So yes or no, it can beat the Ranger.
Car.
Yes.
Okay, it can beat the Ranger. Okay.
I have a Cayenne GTS, which I purchased with the intention of doing an Overland build on.
Yeah.
And after I drove that car on our Western Express event last year, decided I was not going to do that. I was going to keep it as a road rally support / dad car. And so that one is no Overland build on that. And then, you know, when you think about it, like I have my 80 series, which is I threw my heart and soul into that build. It is completely outrageous and stupid. I don't want to talk about.
You don't want to show some of those receipts?
Yeah.
No, that Jason Harris from Ozark Overland Outfield, Fitters, God bless him, has spent building that vehicle. But it is purpose built for these events and to be out for a very long time. And so the turbo diesel swap is kind of the big part of that, finding and sourcing that engine. that's just a one-off vehicle that cannot be replicated.
How hard was it finding that engine?
It was tough. We actually found one in the U.S., but the issues came after we found the engine and got it in the shop. There were some things that I won't go into details, but Jason ended up having to do a lot of work he shouldn't have had to do on it, and it cost a pretty significant amount to get it where we wanted it. But
no, I've heard those are like a needle in the haystack now. Like if you can find them, they're super expensive and they probably need a lot of work.
People are importing them, and you see them more. But what you don't see is that engine in a traditional left-hand drive Land Cruiser where everything works just like it should from the factory.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them are kind of just, oh, we got the engine in there, but the wiring harness not so much, and like half the shit doesn't work. Mine works. And I'm really picky in particular on my cars, and so is Jason. And it's been a really, really good marriage on that vehicle. So I've got that. I have a 1975 40 series. That's a one-owner vehicle that actually Jason Harris found for me and purchased it. We did some modification on it. It's having an engine rebuild done on it right now.
Are you keeping the original straight six, the 2F, or going to?
Yeah, so it's going to Mosley Motors. He's known for kind of putting out a high output version of that engine where it just kind of hums along and redo the internals and a lot of other things. But it's a great truck. I took that on an event last year with my dad. Had a lot of fun. It completely beat the crap out of me.
Oh yeah.
In the Ozarks with the 31-inch tires, 32-inch tires, and a 4-speed manual. Like I got the shit kicked out of me driving that thing.
It's so it's so funny. I'm sorry to but going back to like that FJ45. And I had a buddy that had one of those, and I had my CJ7 at the time.
They're probably very similar, right?
And they are, and that's what I was going to say. So I like leaf springs all the way around. You threw the tightest Rancho shocks you could get on it just to get some lift on it, and you'd wheel the shit out of that thing. And thinking to now, like if I was to take that truck, that Jeep, and go wheel the way I used to, I would need a kidney transplant at the end of it. Like it's not, that's why like even the new Bronco with the soft top, oh, F that shit. I want a hard top. I want air conditioning and heating. I want plush seats. I want zero gravity. That's bullshit. That's young man's game. I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah.
If I bought a CJ7 today, it would be my weekend top off drive to the beach car. I wouldn't take that shit off road anymore.
You just drive to just to put gas in it and drive it back.
I will never do another Overland event in that.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you.
So, and then that's it. Let's see. The only last week I purchased a Land Cruiser Heritage Edition, so the 200 series Heritage Edition. Made the mistake of telling one of our sponsors is the Toyota dealership, Landers Toyota. I told him I'll never forget because he called me up when they had a new one, and knew they were $90,000, and I was like, I'm not paying that for that, no way. And then they killed the Land Cruiser, so they announced they were no longer continuing it. You saw a spike in prices.
Yep.
And I told him, if you find another one, let me know. And I want to buy it. And didn't think anything about it, but in true fashion, a local guy bought one from that dealership and decided he's a local collector here in Northwest Arkansas, sold it back. The thing had 1,900 miles on it, all the plastic in it, everything. It's brand new. And so he calls me. He's like, I have this. Here's what it cost.
And you went, okay.
I'm still sick at my stomach.
Oh.
I mean, honestly.
You are now. But in 2 years, when you look at the resale value of that thing, you're gonna go, that was a good choice.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, I I told Aaron about this interaction the other day, but basically, you know, the finance manager at the dealership doing my paperwork, he's like, man, if I was you, like I'd get this thing paint protection film on it and like I'd stick it in your garage. And my salesman and the manager that I've bought several cars from over the years, he's like, this idiot is going to take that thing out to Moab or somewhere and stuff it into its tree. He's like, you're going to have that warranty voided within 30 days. And, you know, so we're going to do a mild build on the 200 series, and it'll be kind of a good support vehicle for the events and something nice for staff or the media guys to have access when they need to. But that's my fleet. I'm not keeping all of them because I bought the 200 series. I'm selling the Cayenne. That's going to go away next week. I'm considering selling my 40 series. I think with the 80 and with the 200, I don't know when I'll drive it. I don't know. We'll see. I'd like to be able to afford to keep it, but realistically, with everything else, I don't know if that'll happen or not. So I'd rather keep the ones that have a little bit more sentimental value, and I think that I'll get more use out of over the years. But don't we're not going to stop there, because Aaron has a little special project going on with his 4Runner that is also equally nuts. And he's taunting me because he sends me photos of his new tires next to my existing tires on my 80 series. And I'm like, okay, now I've got to run 37s instead of 35s. And I'm still not going to have tires as large as what he runs.
Are you, what are you doing with that 4Runner, man?
So after months and months and months of waiting, my Marlin Crawler RCL THD suspension came in last month. So that is being installed, or actually is installed right now, up at Jason's shop in Missouri. We also put a 200 series Land Cruiser steering rack in there, RCV Dana 60 long travel axles to go in there to complement the RCL THD. Put a diamond fabrication 9.5-inch rear axle housings for 529 gears.
He's going 40s, by the way.
Yeah.
38s for now. 38 Milestar Patagonias are already on there, and then a Long Range America auxiliary tank. So all of that should be finished up this week, and then I'm still waiting on my shocks to actually show up. So it's going to go out there on some Icons, but I'm switching over to Radflows here that are custom for the RCL THD system. So it's going to be pretty sick. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's been up there for a month, and it'll the first time I will get to see it will be in Vegas, because we're shipping it out to Vegas for the Death Valley trip. So I'm going to fly out and pick it up there.
That's ballsy as hell. To take it out of the shop, fly in. You don't even have a way to get home. You're like, this better work.
Yeah. So, the good thing is that the gears have to be broken in. So Jason is actually going to make this his daily for the next 2.5 weeks.
That's funny.
Breaking in the gears.
Yeah.
So we know that everything's fine tuned and good before shipping it out there. So we're shipping mine out, and we're shipping Scott's 80 series out simultaneously. Then we'll pick them out there, and then we'll head to Death Valley straight from Vegas.
So what's that 4-hour drive from Vegas to Death Valley?
It's just some change. It's not bad at all.
Yeah. So that sounds, between the two of you, I'm fully jealous.
Yeah,
100% of the fleet. But I mean, I like the going back to the diversity. The 4Runner on 40s and the Porsche Cayenne. Just the diversity in fleet kind of matches your openness and willingness to hey, let's go wheel, let's go have a good time. Doesn't matter what run what you brung kind of thing.
Yeah.
Are you gonna continue with that 40? And it sounds like you're investing enough in it to make it a lifetime vehicle, or is this a temporary project and you're gonna scrap it and do something new?
No, my name's not Scott. So I'm gonna keep this guy. for as long as it'll drive. The plan is I will probably eventually wrap this thing a different color, probably more feminine, and then my daughter will take it. Because she wants one in either rainbow or some other awesome
Respect.
fashion.
Full
So
respect.
we'll probably do we'll probably end up doing by the time she's old enough, we'll do like a unicorn wrap on it or something.
Yes. I was going to do a unicorn wrap on the Ranger, and my daughter can't drive for another 10 years. So I mean, just because I like it. I mean, I'm going to put a little horn on the hood ornament and make it my. By the way, My Little Pony, Next Generation, fantastic movie. If you haven't watched it yet, watch it with your daughter; she'll love it. These guys hate me, but I love the movie.
Nice.
And in full disclosure, I'm more Scott than Aaron. I just don't have Scott's resources.
That money.
I would love to have 6 of the vehicles, and I turn over vehicle. We just bought a vehicle the other day. My wife just got a new car, and they were like, "So you can finance it for this much." We're like, "Yeah, sure. How long are you gonna keep the vehicle? 2-3 years." Well, why are you financing it this much? Don't worry about it. 2-3 years. We'll have a new one in 2-3 years. That's just our cycle, man. It's. I turn them over constantly, and I would kind of like to get back into that. I want to get to the point where the Rangers paid off, and then now I can take those funds and go, all right, I'm going to get a little project here, sell that, get a little project here, have the opportunity to drive a bunch of stuff. So go
ahead.
I was just going to say, I absolutely love the fact that you're all over the place with these vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an idiot, which is funny considering that. I mean, I tell people all the time, like, the Express Rally is not paying for these cars. Like, I'm fortunate that I'm a CPA and have a CPA firm here locally that's been a very good business, and we have some other things too that have allowed me to do some of that. But I buy what I like, and sometimes it's a stupid Land Cruiser, and then other times like a Porsche Cayenne. It's like a $25,000 vehicle, and you can buy them for less. So if you're looking for like an Overland vehicle to buy, it's honestly not a bad one. They're overbuilt, they're great, and it's unique. So I think if you want to get into kind of a good, I won't call it entry level because it's still expensive, even at $15,000-$20,000.
But
so is a Land Cruiser.
So I was gonna say, so is a Land Cruiser.
So is a Jeep.
So is a
Jeep
new,
JK.
A newer 4Runner or a JK. Yeah. I mean, once you get. It comes down to what you get for the price, right? So, I mean, you could spend $20,000 to get the Cayenne, and I'm asking because I have no experience with them. My only thought would be: is there any aftermarket support to lift it and put tires on it? Is there? Yeah.
Yes.
So when you if you're going to spend $20,000, you're going to spend that on a 10-year-old 4Runner. You're going to spend that. You're going to spend 15 on an 80 series, bone stock 80 series
with like 300,000 miles.
Yeah, with 300,000. I mean, so that's not, to me, if that's what they're going for, that's not outside of the realm of what people are spending money on.
Dude, I've thought about selling my Land Cruiser and buying a Cayenne.
Do that shit. Do it.
I mean, I'll say this: I've been fortunate that I've bought vehicles that have they've held value or they've appreciated even before COVID. So you're not losing money on Land Cruisers right now. 40, 80, 200 series. You're not losing money on much of anything right now. No. So if I'm going to do that, then and the Heritage is a vehicle that I bought because I am a Land Cruiser fanboy, and I will have that vehicle indefinitely because it's the last year. They made 1,200 Heritage editions.
Wow.
That year, like, that is the one to have. And everything we're doing to it, I'm gonna buy a second bumper to cut to put the winch behind. Like, I'm keeping everything. So if I ever want to put it back, I can.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with a vehicle that's that much, like, I just feel like that's the right thing to do. And I will be the moron out there wheeling it and getting it scratched up. And you can ask Aaron. I'll do it. I don't care. That's why you own them.
Exactly. That's exactly why you do it.
Yeah.
And going back to that appreciation and value side story again. Got a new car this weekend. Went into the dealership with a 2019 Dodge Durango. We've had it for, I think, 2 years, and didn't realize it, but as we were taking the stuff out of the glove box, the window sticker was there in the glove box. Trade-in value, exactly what we bought it for 2 years ago.
Damn, dude.
Drove it for 2 years, no joke, almost to the dollar. I mean, it was fractionally off. We drove a car for 2 years, turned it in, and got the exact same value.
That's crazy, dude.
Yep. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. The downside is we probably paid more for this vehicle, but yeah. What do you do?
Yeah. Yeah. Aaron, do you want to share about our super secret special event that's gonna take place? I'll let Aaron talk about the experience, but COVID has caused some challenges with planning because of the fact that the destination is pretty involved.
Are you talking about our trip in the South?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it, or do you want me to?
Wow, this I feel like we need a sound effect, like breaking news or something.
News.
Hold on, just in my ear. They've just handed this to me. What is going on?
Yeah, so we can volley this one back and forth. So we are taking partnership with Frank from Land Cruiser Heaven, who I'm sure you guys are familiar with. And we are going to do our first international trip. And we're going to be taking it down to Colombia.
What?
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So this is going to be like a 12-day trip.
You're going to be amped up a lot, huh?
Encanto.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be an all-inclusive trip. So we're still working through all the details of like logistics and shipping vehicles and all of that stuff. There will be vehicles like Land Cruisers that you could rent. But if you're like me and Scott, like we want videos and photos of our shit in another country, So we're going to be shipping it down to Colombia. And it's going to be a 12-day trip, if I didn't say that already. But yeah, it's going to be epic. You're going to be driving through rainforest, desert, you name it. It's going to be the trip of a lifetime, no doubt.
Cody, what are we doing with our lives?
We're not going to. We're gonna go to Corona. And then possibly Rancho Cucamonga. That's what we do. Seriously, guys, that is freaking awesome, man. 12-day trip.
He's been a really good resource on that. And he's done a similar trip before for some of his customers. And so it's going to be limited to 12 or 15 vehicles. Price tag will be hefty, but it is completely all inclusive from shipping your vehicle there and back to food. We're splitting the nights between primitive camping and some absolutely breathtaking campsites. And then also including some 4-star hotel accommodations in some different cities. So you get a little bit of a cultural feel for it too, where you're at. And it's just going to be one of those where we want it to be a trip that you'll never forget as long as you live.
If you guys need a shitty podcaster / shitty photographer, let me know.
What is he's like, just put me in one of the trucks when you ship it. What's the ship time for a vehicle? Like,
so typically, depending on the port, most of them will leave from Galveston. Normally, it's 2 weeks there, 2 weeks back. A little less than that, actually, but that's kind of a good safe time to go because you've got to get there and then get it through customs and everything else.
And talk about appreciation and value. I feel like you might be able to collect some things in Colombia that you could put in your vehicle so that when you shipped it back, it was worth a couple thousand more it was than you left it. I'm just saying.
Get those Land Cruiser parts.
I'm not sanctioning anything. So basically, you're out of your vehicle for a month. By the time you ship it out, because depending on where you're shipping it from, a couple days to get to Texas, and then out of Texas, 2 weeks to Colombia, the trip for 12 days, and then the same trip back. So almost 2 months out of your vehicle.
Yeah.
Which
Scott's used to that, so.
Well, he owns a Land Cruiser.
Well, he has
sometimes you can't drive it for 2 months.
This guy has 2 other Land Cruisers to drive.
He just rotates through them. It's fine.
Yeah.
Scott, is that part of the package? Scott will ship you one of his so you can borrow it for the 2 months that yours is gone for an extra fee.
It is not part of the package.
What month?
Details will be coming out.
What month?
It's going to be June, July. I want to say July is what we picked. We had it planned to actually go live for registration January of this year, but due to COVID and just complicated shipping factors, we're waiting. It's one of those deals where we've had some really good constructive planning calls with Frank and kind of getting the pieces together and lined out. So one, we know it's doable. We kind of have an idea what the price tag is going to be, but a lot of that fluctuates. So we're going to wait until we have a better feel for the timing of when we can do it before we announce it. It's going to be at least a year more out, but events like this take significant planning. So we will open it for registration. I'll say at some point this year. And then once those spots are taken, that's it. And I think that in the country, we will not have any problem finding 15 people to do this with us. No. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully, I joke a lot about the amount that the word adventure is used in overlanding, like in videos, like adventure this, adventure that, adventure is necessary, all that, like blah, 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 blah. Great. What are you actually doing that's new?
I told you, we're going to meet at Islands in Rancho Cucamonga. I don't know what else you want from me, dude. They've got birds at Islands that talk and sing when you eat. That's adventure.
I don't mean to make light of it, because I think you could have an adventure in your backyards with your kids and all that. That's not it.
No. But this is epic lifetime adventure here.
Yeah. You missed the opportunity to really do something monumental and impactful that you will never forget. And I think this is going to be that trip. So taking it outside of the U.S., and Aaron and I have been fortunate that we've built up a pretty good base of participants over the years doing these events, and we'll continue to this year. And so that's something really unique that we can offer to people that really want to take this experience to the next level. And there's going to be some really cool media coverage. It's part of it. It's very much going to be something that is shared and followed, and got some great corporate sponsorships lined up for that are helping it happen. And we're looking for a couple more. So if you happen to be in that position and it sounds like something that you want to be involved in, obviously reach out to us. But with a trip like this, the group of people is extremely important that you take. So we want to make sure it's a good fit for everyone. But yeah, that's kind of that's the huge sledgehammer big news. And then the other thing we wanted to share, we have our Colorado video that's going to drop later this week. So that'll be out. You'll see that on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. And if you're considering doing one of our events, it's kind of a good way to just kind of see what the experience is like. We've got events out there now. You can Google Express Rally Overland or search for it on YouTube and find it pretty easily. But, kind of gives you a snippet of what the experience is like. And some of the videos are like 4 minutes long, and some of them are 18. So, you can pick your poison next time you're taking a dump at work, watch a video, and you can get a good feel for it that way. But
it's got to be the 18-minute one, though. Like it's for sure. If I'm taking a dump at work, it's at least 18 minutes, just so we're clear.
Again, if you need a shitty photographer, I'm your guy.
Guys, that's
awesome.
Epic. That is epic, and hats off to you guys for having the cojones to actually attempt something like this. That's major, major. I can't even imagine the amount of logistics required to pull that off. So kudos to you for doing it. That's going to be awesome.
Dude, Cody would be going crazy. Just his pack list of like what he would take international.
You would need a separate cargo ship to fly. Although I just looked, there's an Ironman 4x4 Columbia, so you could just go down and buy everything there. Yeah, just add whatever you think you're going to need, ship your car down, and then show up at the Ironman 4x4 there, buy it all, and you're done.
Yep.
Well, we're ambitious, but we never said we were smart.
Yeah.
So,
True.
We're going to try our best, but I think between Aaron's skills and planning and all that with Frank on board, it's going to happen. It's going to be a really good time. And obviously, we will hop back on with you guys later in the year, right before it opens up, and share more details and really dive into the nitty gritty of it for people that are interested.
Yeah,
but,
sure, dude.
100%.
Awesome.
100%. You guys, we really enjoy talking to you. That's like when we connected and we're like, you talking about coming back on the show. Absolutely, we enjoy talking to you guys. I'm very, very inspired by what you guys are doing on a day-to-day basis. Just like putting out these events to not only for, I don't want to, because I know there's, I don't want to say selfish. I know that you guys get joy out of this. I know from being on that side of the planning, there's joy there for you. But you're providing a joy and an experience and an adventure for, you know, all of the people that participate in your events. And I think that's commendable and awesome. And I'm super stoked to talk to you guys about it. And it makes me realize that we need to step up. We need to step up.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've kind of laid like a blueprint of like what we do and what it should look like.
Yeah, right? yeah.
So it's like we kind of strive for that.
And anybody that's coming on our trip, you're not getting that shit. You're not getting. Yeah. There's no shipping your vehicle. If you can't get your vehicle there, that's your problem. Like,
you're gonna get a lot of insults coming your way.
I'm gonna have a sticker and a hot dog at the most. Like, that's best case scenario.
And a lot of shit talking.
And I'm not
we do have a lot of that. That does happen. But I'll say, you know, the people that do the event are awesome. Some of my favorite things from over the last year are seeing the amount of people that are bringing their kids and their families on these events. And it's really Aaron's a great example. You know, he's got a daughter that you know is 6, and so he and his wife and Karis are getting to kind of share some of these experiences together. And what I hope is, my kids are younger, but you know, they're getting to an age where it's easier to take them out and to do things with them.
Yeah.
And so what I hope is we all just kind of get to continue growing up, sharing these experiences together.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep adding other people to the family that are doing the same thing. And it's fun. You know, we say it's a little family. It is. There's some of the greatest people that you know, doing these events, and in general, it's not just our events, but
yeah,
it's been great. If you have a family and you want to do this, do it. You'll meet some absolutely wonderful people on these events, and it's a great way to experience the outdoors in a new way.
And especially if you have a family and you want to do this, and the idea of planning a trip and going out on your own to an unknown location with your family brings you some anxiety. This takes all that off the table, right? Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think back, I started wheeling when I was 19 years old, right? And it was just me and an ice chest and a tent, and like that was it. If I had just gotten into this now and I had a 6-year-old and a wife and I was trying to figure the whole thing out, I could
be over. You'd be
like,
you know what? Never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
I'm gonna pick up golfing.
Yeah. So, you know, I think there's value in that. It is, you know, going with like-minded people and getting an experience that's curated to a level that you can feel comfortable and know that there's support there. So.
Yeah. And I'll remind people too, if you're listening to this, we mentioned it earlier and I posted it in the group chat, but the events that we have next month in Death Valley and in Moab, we have a handful of open spots left.
Somebody already signed up during the live feed.
Did they really?
Yeah.
If you want to go, you can use the coupon code Trail Chasers at checkout, and it saves you $300, which is basically a third of the price. So jump on, come out, join us. You'll have a great time. Get some wonderful photos and video of your rig and your, you know, having the experience, so you can kind of commemorate it and have something nice to get printed and hang in your garage or on your fireplace, man.
There you go. Well, so Adam, sounds like Adam signed up. Yeah. So Adam's coming on our King of the Hammers trip in early February, and then he's going to go on your trip. Full disclosure, I'm going to ask him to take some notes. I'm going to ask him to kind of monitor the situation, come up with it like an itinerary, and then have him report back so that we can fix our stuff.
Yeah, we got to fix our shit over
there. So Adam, just so you know, they're fully aware you are our inside guy.
I just saw Adam's registration come through, which Adam, if you're still listening, I'll follow up with you. The event is it's $10.99, so the $300 backs it down to $7.99. I'm a
I thought
CPA.
$10.99. Like you were
Like
gonna $10.99.
yeah.
You're gonna look. I'm not. We're not paying him. We're not paying him to be the inside guy. He doesn't get a $10.99 for that.
Yeah. So Adam, I did see your registration come through. I'll follow up with you on that. So
that's super exciting. You guys are gonna have a good time with Adam.
So, yeah, it's a good discount. It's going to be a great event. So please, if you guys want to come, I think we've got a handful of spots left in each. We'd love for you guys to join us on those events. So it'd be awesome.
Well, dude, first of all, that's very cool. I didn't expect you guys to do that for our listeners. Thank you so much. You guys are always a lot of fun to talk to, and we're gonna have to figure out a time to get ourselves on these events. When you guys had talked about these the Death Valley stuff, like I really thought that was going to be the opportunity, and then
to finally
and then with King of the Hammers, and like I said, I've got some changes coming up that week that's gonna make it difficult. So we will figure out a time to go hang out and experience one of your events and. But in the meantime, as you guys ramp up with more stuff and you've got Columbia coming up, don't hesitate to reach out, man. We love talking to you guys, and we really appreciate you giving our listeners the opportunity to experience that at a discount. That's really cool of you guys.
Yeah, well, thank you for having us on. We've done it 3 or 4 times now. We always love talking to you guys. It's fun. It goes by too quickly. So hopefully we'll continue doing it, and we'll kind of take you guys along for the ride as we continue to have these nuts ideas.
I'm all about coattails, man. I will ride coattails. I have no.
Doesn't matter how you get there.
Doesn't matter how you get there. Get to the show. Well, all right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate everything, and good luck on these trips. And we'll catch up with you guys on the next one.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys, a lot of fun. I'm super excited about your Columbia trip. That's super cool. I'm really excited about Adam going on your guys' Death Valley trip. You guys are going to love that. He and his family are fantastic. They've been on a whole bunch of runs with us.
We've penetrated their organization.
Yes, we have now infiltrated spreading the virus. Adam is our COVID. He's going to go infect you guys and
oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I think he signed up for an event before and then he had to back out. So I'm happy he'll get the experience. Well, for some reason, Death Valley was like, we had so few people sign up for it, and then Moab's like normal.
I'm surprised by that. You mentioned it earlier. Like people don't think. I've always wanted to do that. It's come up on our list a couple times, and we've had to reroute. But I definitely want to get up there and do it. And it's something we'll probably try to do.
Hopefully this year.
Yeah, maybe this year. I think Winter Expedition 22.
Yeah.
So
one thing we want to do is obviously if you guys. I don't know what your schedule's like for late August and September. We have New Mexico and Colorado, those dates ready. I know it's a further trek for you guys, but if you want to make it happen and you think you can attend one of those or both of them, I mean, people have jobs and stuff going on outside of it. I get that it's hard.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm hoping my new job puts me in a position to do more of this, which I'm not quite ready to talk about yet. But yes, I think you do me a favor, email me those dates before I start my job. I will tell them I've already got plans. I've already got a vacation planned for this time.
Yeah, and we will we'll have you guys out on our dime, get the experience, and that way you can at least speak to it from personal experience. And it'll be good to have you guys out and get to have you on one of these things.
That'd be so much appreciated. So
Thank
awesome.
you.
Yeah, so awesome. All right, guys. Oh shit! I gotta edit this tomorrow.
No, you don't.
I gotta put it all together. So I'll get this put together. I'm traveling tomorrow afternoon, so I may even try to edit this tonight or first thing in the morning. I'm gonna get this edited just like we did last time. It'll get posted for Thursday release. I'll send you guys all the info, and then we'll collaborate. If any of our other listeners catch this on Thursday, if the deal's still open, they'll register by Friday, and that would be great to have a handful of people on that trip with you guys. And seriously, open invitation, guys. We love talking to you guys. Awesome, guys. Whenever you want to come back, let us know.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Happy to be on, and we'll do it again soon. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks. You guys have a great night.
Yeah,
cool.
You too.
You too. Bye, guys.
All right. That was cool. We're going to roll right into it. 3, 2, 1. All right, thanks to the Express Rally Overland guys for coming on. They're a lot of fun. I legitimately, like, I'm inspired by the amount of effort they put into this and the things that they're doing, and I really enjoy hearing them talk about all of the planning and all of that stuff that they're doing.
Yeah, because from the first time we talked to them, they were just like, we're taking it on a trip by trip basis, and they didn't know like what the future held. Now it's like, dude, we're booked like a year plus out now. So it's like,
and you know what? We haven't explored enough of America. Let's go to Colombia. Shit. I mean,
what are we doing wrong, bro?
I don't, dude. A lot of things. Perry is saying, to be fair, would anyone want Cody arranging your truck being shipped to another country?
Yes
No.
Yes, because I'm sure all the paperwork would be in order. But just like all the other shit that like it's the baggage that comes with shipping the truck.
If someone trusted me shipping their truck to Colombia, I would intentionally ship it to someplace else. Just be like, I don't know, I got lost. I don't know. But here, talking to this microphone because that's going to be hilarious. No, I'm super excited about that. That's super cool. On a much less cool note, because we're not nearly as cool as those guys, Winter Expedition is coming up at King of the Hammers. If you have already registered, I've been meaning to send out an update over the last week and have been kind of busy. I'm going to do that over the next 2 days because, like I said, I'm traveling for work, so I'll have some time on the plane and in the hotel room to do that stuff. You're taking Thursday, Friday off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got approved.
Oh shit. See, this comes out Thursday. I mean, I guess. I
mean, bro, the cat's out of the bag. You let it out of the bag.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I'm changing jobs. I will in more detail talk to the new job because it's really freaking exciting. I can't even I'm like bursting at the seams excited about it.
That's not why you're bursting at the seams.
Yeah, well, I'm bursting at the seams for I ate too many Oreos today. But I'm super excited about that, and I made sure to approve Jose's vacation request for my last day. I may or may not.
Dude, put in all your requests now.
I may or may not approve somebody else's request too before my last day. So that should be covered. The custom swag for the trip was ordered. All of that should be ordered. I am hoping it shows up. I mean, based on the turnaround time, we should have that. I'm reaching out to vendors and other people to try to put together some swag bags. Just as normal. The one hiccup is that one of the routes we had planned may be private land.
Yeah, so we're going to have to get a pre-run going.
Yeah, so, well, either that or come up with 2 or 3 different options and take a look at it. I am now thinking about going out Wednesday.
Okay.
And then...
The day before?
Yeah. Yeah, the Wednesday before.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be... It's going to be dependent on... how my actual last day when that actually occurs and how that plays out and but I'm trying to get out of my existing job as quick as possible so I can start the new one.
Is the trip filled?
That's a really good question. Who would have asked that question? That's so in tune with our who brought that up. Yes,
Matt's vulva.
I think he can. They can get that fixed. I think.
I don't think he wants to though.
Yes, the trip is full. The registration has been turned off. Right now. So here I'm going to read the people that are registered, and if you believe that you have registered and I don't read your name, please let me know. Cody, Matt, Jose, Casey, Susan, Shy, Tim Kilmer, Adam Shanley, Elam, Sergio, Scott, Duty Driven Mark, Dave Frazier, Joey D, Jose's boss, Corey, and Marco. So those are 17 vehicles that are going to be on this trip. There is an opportunity that Joe K may actually show up. I know he's planning on being in town for work, and he's going to try to pull that off. We haven't. No, Steve Garvey did not register for the trip, Matt.
As of now.
As of yet. If you want to reach out, I will open up a spot for Steve Garvey. So right now, 17 vehicles. All of the swag has been ordered for those people that have registered, and we're doing something a little bit different on the giveaway this time, just because it's winter and trying something fun. I think I'm going to try to take Tammy's new car out.
Cool.
She won't let it happen. So Tammy got a new car. We've been talking about this for a while, right? Mm-hmm. Tammy got a new car. She got a Volvo XC40, which is the little subcompact sport utility. Super freaking fun vehicle.
Yeah, because they have the 40, the 60, and the 90.
Correct. And the 40 is the small one. Mm-hmm. But the reason I bring it up, it's an all-wheel drive, and it has drive modes, and it's got an off-road mode. And I saw that, and I went, oh, shit. Damn it. Now I have to try. But as quick as that car is and as, like, nimble and stable, I bet that'd be a fun rally car. Like a desert, like a flat road desert rally car.
It's like the ultimate fire road car.
Yes, ultimate fire road car. It's like a turbocharged Jeep Renegade.
Exactly.
So I'm excited about that. She really likes it. She's been wanting something different for a long time, and I'm glad she found something she liked. But that whole, like I said earlier, the whole car experience. We looked at Kelley Blue Book,
mm-hmm.
and her Durango was valued at somewhere between 32 and 36. All right, fine. She took it to CarMax and got an appraised value of 33 and change, almost 34. We took it to Ford Kia, and they said 29. What? 29?
Yeah.
Bullshit. And then we went to Volvo, and they didn't even. We were like, yeah,
36.
No, well, here's the thing. We were like, yeah, I'm not taking any less than 33. And he says, really? And I said, look, Kelley Blue Book, we've got CarMax for 34, 33. And they went, do you have the CarMax thing? And she showed it. He went, okay, 33,000. That was, he did.
You messed up, dude. You should have said, I'm not taking anything less than 40,000.
40,000, right? But the funny thing is like I said, when I took the sticker out of the glove box, literally we bought it for 33, drove it for 2 years, and got it 33 back. That doesn't happen.
Winning. No,
that
dude.
Doesn't happen, right? So, ultimately a good
Even
deal.
if it cost you $2,000, it still would have been a win.
Yes. So I'm happy about that. I do want to wheel the thing, but it's a freaking black little black Volvo, and it's
with 21-inch tires or something.
Yeah. But it's gonna be so much fun. Damn it! I want to take it out, and she won't. I know she won't let me. Your boss bought lights.
Yeah.
Did you get to see them yet?
Yes. They're cool.
Are they? Okay. Because she sent me the link, and I was just going to pull the trigger on them.
No, they're going to be great.
Okay. So I'm going to pull the trigger on the chase lights. So I'm going to pull the trigger on those. And then she also bought a couple other lights, and she's like, when can we put it in? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a weekend to get those done. And, Mark says we can hook the Volvo up behind Tim's Honda, his Honda Pilot. But I need to get. I got so much to do between now and Hammers. With the change in job and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. So,
that's one word you can use.
Well, it's just chaos. I think I've just settled into chaos.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, the last 2 years.
You're like the Hulk. You're just always angry.
Yes, that's my secret. I'm always in chaos. What else there was? We got a voicemail.
Oh, cool.
We got 2 voicemails. The first one I'm not going to play because it's super broken up, and it sounds like the guy was pissed off at me driving. But I can't. he breaks up so much I can't tell if it's a joke or if the guy was really mad. Yeah. So if you're a listener and you saw me today at noon and you called in because you thought it was funny, call back and leave a better message because it was so broken up it's not worth it. But here, let's see what we got in this one.
Oh, hi guys. I look forward to your return phone call. Well, this is Richard. Whatever. Broken ankle guy. Last time I talked to you was probably a year or so ago. Since I've had another baby, and she's awesome. Her name is Saffron, and my wife and I have decided to leave California because we don't want to raise children in this silly state anymore. But anyways, on our way out, I don't know, hook up. It's something. Tried to hook up with you guys for some trails. Sorry, I had a few beers. But oh gosh, I wish I could go on the winter ride. Sounds fun. And that's all. Still listening to you guys like crazy. Just can't get enough of you guys. You're so in touch with what's going on with everybody. And Nissans, I think I'm gonna get my daughter to get one. Yeah, she wants a Volkswagen. I don't think so. Get a. I'm going Frontier. She'll be the tail of the spear. All right, cheers, fellas. Late. Sorry for a shitty fucking phone call.
That was Richard. That was not a shitty fucking phone call. That was a great phone call. I invite everybody to call us after having a couple beers. I think it makes it interesting. Yeah, I don't know when you're leaving the silly state, but we'll have more trips coming up between now and the end of the year. I had a question about the discount code for our shop this month.
Yep.
It's the same one as December. I haven't changed it yet. So if you're a patron that has got the code in the Patreon messaging app last month, use the same one for this month. I haven't added any new swag there yet, but I have been working on some designs and I might try to do that before the trip.
I need to order one of those coffee cups.
Yeah. There's the enamel mugs, and then we've got the insulated water bottles on there, and a couple other things. I need to order some more stuff too. But I think, I'm really hoping that over the next couple weeks I can shift my focus to getting this trip done and get prepared for some changes and all that stuff. I gotta plan my exit at some point.
Cool.
What about you? What do you have to do to the cruiser before the trip?
Nothing really. It's good to go.
Okay. So no chance you're taking the Frontier?
No, dude. I mean, it doesn't even have off-road tires.
Yeah, but that would make it fun.
Will it?
Why don't you tow the cruiser with the Frontier?
What for?
I don't know. We will be, so going back to, we talked about that before, we will be sending out coordinates. Are we going to try to do like a Thursday, everybody meet at this location, or do we just want to give coordinates of where we're going to camp?
I don't know. Either way is cool.
Well, we could do both. We could say we're going to camp here.
Yeah, and then we'll
meet.
If
you want to meet up Thursday at X time to follow each other in, that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
So we'll get that all planned. I'm like I said, I'm over the next couple of days. I'm gonna try to get some of that stuff done, and then, the cat's out of the bag at work, and I just gotta figure out when my last day is gonna be. All right. Anything else, dude?
All good on my end.
All right. We went kind of long with the Express Rally guys, but that's because they do a lot of cool shit, and it's fun to talk to them, and we appreciate them being on the show and talking to us, and hopefully we get the chance to experience one of their trips. And Adam, when you after you do that Death Valley trip, we need a full debrief.
Yeah, we need a full exactly
full debrief of how shitty our stuff is.
We're gonna need an AAR after action report.
Okay, or just tell me what happened, and then we'll go from there. All right, man. I think we're going to end it. Cool. And you know what, Casey and Matt, for not being here tonight, we're docking your pay, just so you know, both of you.
That's a week's pay.
Yeah, you're getting full dock on that one. And we'll catch up with you guys next week.